Greeting and welcome all on behalf of NIMI Chennai. I am G. Rajeshwarna from NSTI Chennai. Today our class is about Introduction to National Electrical Code NEC 2011. Part 2. Electrical installations in standby generating stations and captive substations. This National Electrical Code Part 2 is primarily intended to cover the requirements relating to standby generating stations and captive substations intended for serving a building or group of buildings. This part is not intended to cover captive generator sets of very large capacities. This part 2 covers only the standby generating sets up to the capacity of 5 megawatts. Similarly, the substations up to the capacities of 10 megawatt and 33 kilovolt are covered. This part 2 also does not apply to the generating stations coming under the jurisdiction of the electric supply authority in a city or metropolis. Next is part 3, electrical installations in non-industrial buildings. Part 3 of this code therefore covers requirements for major types of non-industrial occupations. It is felt that a large number of occupancies would fall in one of the categories, and for typical buildings which do strictly fall into any of these, resources shall be made to the general guideline stipulated in part 1. This part 3 consists of the following 7 sections. Section 1 covers domestic dwellings. Section 2 covers office buildings, shoppings and commercial centers and institutions. Section 3 covers recreational and assembly buildings. Section 4 covers medical establishments. Section 5 covers hotels and Section 6 covers sports buildings. Section 7 explains the specific requirements for electrical installations in multi-stored buildings. Next, part 4, electrical installations in industrial buildings. This part 4 of the code covers the guidelines for design and construction of electrical installations in industrial buildings. The part 4 does not cover specific areas in industrial sites such as office buildings, workers' restrooms, medical facilities, canteen annexures, etc., for which requirements stipulated in the relevant sections of the part 3 of the code apply. Next, part 5, outdoor installations. In part 5, there are 3 sections. Section 1. This part 5 section 1 of the code covers requirement of public lighting installations in order to provide guidance to those concerned with the preparation of public lighting schemes, their installation and maintenance, and to lay down recommendations on the quality and quantity of lightings to be provided. This section deals only with electric lighting source and does not include gas or other type of lightings. Section 2, temporary outdoor installations. Some outdoor installations are erected to serve for a small duration of time, after which they are meant to be dismantled. Such installations are called temporary installations. For convenience and keeping other aspects of safety provisions in view, this duration is defined as not exceeding 6 months. Section 3, permanent outdoor installations. Permanent outdoor installations are those which are generally in use for longer periods of time. Part 6, electrical installations in agricultural premises. This part of the code is primarily intended for covering the specific requirements of electrical installations in agricultural premises, which include premises where livestock are present and farm produce are handled or stored. Installations in agricultural premises shall be broadly classified into farmhouses and agricultural processing units and livestock houses. Example of such premises are stables, cow houses, sheep folds, stalls, hen houses, piggeries, etc. Part 7. Electrical installations in hazardous area. This part 7 of the code is intended to provide guidelines for electrical installations and equipments in locations where a hazardous atmosphere is likely to be present with a view to maximizing electrical safety. The scope of this part therefore includes installations in hazardous area such as chemical industries, petroleum refineries and other similar areas where hazards of explosion due to gases and vapor exits and in which flammable gases and volatile liquids are processed, stored, loaded, unloaded or otherwise handled. Next one is part 8, solar photovoltaic power supply systems. This part 8 of the code covers essential requirement for electrical installations for power supply system based on the solar photovoltaic energy, including systems with AC modules. The above descriptions are only the references of NEC 2011. Our NEC, National Electrical Code, is intended to be advisory. It contains guidelines which can be immediately adopted for use by the various interests of safety, economy, and it can be kept to the intent for the electrical installation practices to the par of the best practice in the world. Optimum benefits of the electrical energy utilization is only if the electrical installation is of sufficient facility and it is affordable flexibility. Now I hope you all understand the concept of National Electrical Code 2011. Thank you all. See you in our next video.